Once upon a time, in a quiet countryside, there lived a restless young boy whose heart beat with dreams of adventure. He would often sit by the window, gazing out at the endless fields and distant hills, imagining all the wonders that lay beyond his small, familiar world. The boy longed for excitement, for stories of faraway places, and for the thrill of discovering something new. Every day, his imagination soared, painting pictures of bustling cities, mysterious forests, and sparkling rivers he had never seen. Yet, at home, he was surrounded by the warmth of his loving father and the steady presence of his hard-working older brother. Their laughter filled the air, and the aroma of home-cooked meals made the house feel safe and inviting. But the boy's heart yearned for more than comfort. He wanted adventure. One bright morning, with courage bubbling inside him, he approached his father and boldly asked for his share of the family fortune. He was eager to set out on his own, to see the world with his own eyes, and to make his own way, no matter the risks. Though it broke his father's heart to see his youngest son so determined to leave, he agreed. With a heavy sigh and a sad smile, the father handed over the money his son so desperately craved, hoping he would find what he was looking for. The boy left in a rush, his pockets full of coins and his mind full of dreams. He raced down the country road, eager to chase excitement in distant cities. There he spent his fortune wildly, surrounded by new faces and making many so-called friends who cheered him on as long as the money lasted. Without a single glance back, he left behind the love and comfort of his home, forgetting the gentle embrace of his family and the simple joys he once knew, as he chased after the promise of adventure. But soon, the money vanished, and so did his friends. The laughter and excitement that once filled his days faded away, leaving only silence and emptiness. He realized that the people he thought cared about him were only around when he had something to give. Now, with nothing left, he felt invisible. The world seemed colder and lonelier than ever before, and he wondered if he would ever feel happy again. Alone and hungry, he found work feeding pigs, wishing he could eat their scraps. Each day was a struggle, and his stomach ached with hunger. The smell of the pig food, which once would have made him turn away in disgust, now seemed almost delicious. He felt desperate and ashamed, knowing he had fallen so far from the life he once knew. He longed for even a small taste of the food he was giving to the animals. Sitting in the mud, he remembered his father's kindness and realized he'd traded real love for empty fun. Memories of home flooded his mind. Warm meals, gentle words, and the feeling of being truly cared for. He saw now that the excitement he chased was nothing compared to the comfort and love he had left behind. Regret washed over him as he thought about the choices he had made. Regret filled him. He thought, "Even my father's servants live better than this." He pictured them sitting at the table, eating good food, laughing together, and sleeping in warm beds. He realized that even the lowest person in his father's house was treated with more dignity and care than he was now. The thought made him feel both sad and hopeful. Maybe there was still a place for him, even if it was just as a servant. He decided to return home, ready to admit his mistakes and ask to be a servant, not a son. He practiced what he would say, rehearsing his apology over and over in his mind. He knew he didn't deserve forgiveness, but he hoped his father would let him work for food and shelter. With every step, he felt a mix of fear and determination, unsure of what would happen, but knowing he had to try. With a heavy heart, but a spark of hope, he set off for home. The road ahead seemed long and uncertain, but the thought of seeing his father again gave him strength. He walked slowly at first, weighed down by shame, but as he imagined the possibility of a new beginning, his steps grew a little lighter. He wondered if he might find forgiveness, or at least a chance to start over. He wondered if forgiveness was possible. Would his father turn him away, or welcome him back? The questions swirled in his mind, but he knew he had to find out. With every step, hope and fear battled inside him, but he kept moving forward, determined to face whatever waited for him at home. The journey back was hard. No money, no comfort, just shame and fear. He rehearsed his apology, dreading his father's anger. But every day his father watched the road, hoping for his son's return. One day, the father spotted a familiar figure in the distance. Overcome with joy, he ran to his son, arms wide open. The boy tried to apologize, but his father swept him into a hug. The father saw only his beloved child, not the mistakes. Love had been waiting all along. The father, overwhelmed with joy at his son's return, called for a grand celebration. He ordered the finest new clothes, placed a precious ring on his son's finger, and prepared a feast fit for royalty. The entire household was invited to join in the festivities, and the air buzzed with excitement and anticipation. "My son was lost and now is found," he declared, his voice ringing with happiness and relief. The father's heart was full, and he wanted everyone to share in his joy. The house quickly filled with music, laughter, and the sounds of dancing feet. Friends and neighbors gathered, clapping and singing, as the family celebrated the return of someone they thought was gone forever. But outside, the older brother returned from working in the fields. Seeing the party, he grew angry and confused. He couldn't understand why such a celebration was being held for someone who had left and made mistakes. He felt overlooked and hurt, despite all the years he had stayed loyal and worked hard for his family. It seemed unfair to him, and his heart was heavy with disappointment. The father noticed his older son's pain and went outside to speak with him. With kindness and understanding, he reminded him, "You are always with me, and everything I have is already yours. Your place in my heart has never changed. But we must celebrate and be glad. Your brother was lost and is found. This is a moment of joy for all of us, a time to come together as a family." This story reminds us that no matter how far we stray, or how many mistakes we make, love and forgiveness are always waiting for us. There is always a way back home, and a place at the table. When we choose to return, we are welcomed with open arms, ready for a new beginning and a fresh start. The embrace of family and the warmth of acceptance are always there. That's a love that never runs out. A love that celebrates every return, forgives every mistake, and welcomes us home again and again.